Hey guys, today on Average Reviews from an Average Guy, we're going to be looking at Thalia Capo, or Capo. Capo? Capo. Alright guys, and welcome to another Average Review. So today we're looking at the Thalia Capo, which is a capo designed to fit various different neck radiuses for your various different guitars due to its removable fretpad system. So advance warning, this is going to be quite an in-depth video about this capo. If you want to just skip to seeing the capo in action on different instruments, different guitars, then check out the links in the description there, and I'll have the separate videos up for you as well. Otherwise, stick with me and we'll learn about this wonderful capo. So, what do you get in the box? Well, firstly you get the capo itself, which is a very solid metal capo with beautiful design. More on that later. You get 2 packs of rubber fret pads, one in high tension, one in standard tension. More on that later. It comes with a microfiber bag, and this is to keep your capo protected. You have a quick start guide which basically talks you through how the capo works, and it gives you the most common neck radiuses of very common guitars. And finally they add in a little bonus wooden pick, which we will actually look at in more depth in a future video. So how does it work? Well, it's kind of reversed to a usual capo in that you squeeze in order to get the capo onto your instrument. It makes it incredibly easy to move around on the fly, as you're squeezing it the same way, same fingers in the same way that you would if you were doing a bar chord. So the guitar is on, squeeze and move, and you're in, squeeze and move. Okay, so let's look at the fret pads. So you've got 3 different sort of standard types, as it were. Included in the pack you get a standard tension and a high tension rubber pad. Now the high tension work much better for your 12 strings or the mandolin, banjos, anything that needs that extra bit of tension down on the strings. And you can see it's a slightly thicker pad than the standard tension, which is used for your bog standard 6-string guitars. Then you have your Teflon. Now the Teflon you can order separately, I believe. Well, I did. And it's a much harder and slippier material. Now this is perfect for if you do a lot of string bends using a capo, because if you have probably experienced that the capo will clamp down on your string, so that when you bend it, the capo will hold it in that bend tuning, and it's difficult for it to get back to its original tuning. And the Teflon will solve that by allowing the string to move beneath it quite freely. Also available is a partial tuning kit. Now this thing is in rubber, and it comes with all your different fret radiuses. Again, the difference being that we have a shortened rubber neck, so it only compresses 3 strings at a time. So for example, if I come in on the 2nd fret from the bottom of the neck, it will give me an open A chord. And if I come in on the 2nd fret from the top of the neck, it will give me an E sus4. So fun. So you can get your capo in a variety of different styles, and in fact there's too many for me to go through right now. So just head to their website, the link is in the description there, and you can have a browse through all the beautiful different designs that they have. For my purposes, I got a Brazilian lacewood design, and this is so it could match the Babinga back and sides of my Crafter Twin Birds. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's really, really nicely built. Really, really well done. It feels so incredibly sturdy. It's a bit heavier than your usual capo, but it feels so incredibly solid. Okay, so neck radius, what is it and why should you care? So the radius of your neck is literally just the curve of your neck. If you imagine that your guitar neck is sitting in the top of a larger circle, the radius of that circle will match the radius of your guitar neck. Now, the higher the number, the lower the radius. And most manufacturers have a standard that they stick to, and if not a standard across the board, they do have sort of standards across different models or eras, it seems. It should be easy enough to just jump on Google and basically type in, this is my guitar, what is the neck radius, and you should get some sort of answer. Otherwise you can do a trial and error. You just find the one that feels right, the one that keeps your guitar in tune. Okay, so I'm going to take you through various different instruments I have, different guitar sizes, body shapes, different neck radius, a couple of different instruments, and I'll take you through some of the different fret pads as well, so you can get to see how they all work in the real world. So to begin with, I'll be using my Crafter Twin Birds, which has a 16-inch neck radius. I'm using the Brazilian lacewood and a standard tension rubber pad. Okay, so next up I'm going to be using a Mikasa ebony design, and that's with my Martin 0015E Retro, which is also a 16-inch radius, and this time I'm going to be using the Teflon pad. That's much slidier. Really, really slippy. Nice. Okay, so next up is the Rosewood Design Capo. Now this is with my Art and Lutherie Roadhouse Parlour, and I'm using a 12-inch radius rubber fret pad. So next up is my Mikasa Ebony again, and this time I'm using a Teflon, and it's not a number this time, it's a C, which is meant for your classical guitars, and I'll be using this on my Luna Nylon Folk Heart Song. Okay, so next up I'm going to be using the Mikasa Ebony again, this time with a high tension 16-inch rubber pad on my Yamaha APX 12A. Okay, so next up is the rosewood design again. This time I've got a 12-inch Teflon pad in there, and I'll be playing it on my banjo, to which I apologise. I don't play the banjo, so sorry for what's about to happen. Bit of a thicker neck this, which is why I'm using the Teflon, so I can slide up and down. Okay, so next is the Brazilian lacewood design again. This time I'm using a Teflon 10-inch with my Fender mandolin. Right, so here we go. First thing I've noticed with the Teflon is I'm moving this thing around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to a rubber pad and see how that works instead. Okay, so now I just have the 10-inch rubber pad in there instead of the Teflon, and let's see how this works. Okay, so there you go. I have to admit, I really like this thing. It's really well built. It feels very rugged. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. The design is beautiful. These inlays, and as you can see, I ended up going with 3 different designs to match 3 different of my guitars. It's very possible that I'll end up buying more, just because the idea of it matching the guitar so beautifully just really appeals to me. I'm a sucker for things that look nice. The ease of use, just that quick squeeze to move it up and down your neck, it's superb. It really is quick, and when you're not using it, It sits very nicely just over the nut so that you don't need to worry about it anymore and you won't lose it. I love the idea of these interchangeable pads. It's very, very handy for all those different neck radiuses, which means that no matter what the radius of your guitar, you should be able to find a pad that will suit the guitar you have and give it the best tuning possible. All in all, I think they've done an absolutely cracking job. Bravo. Bravo. Love. Pros and cons. Pros. This thing is really easy to move up and down your guitar neck. Just one little squeeze like that and the thing moves. None of this trying to adjust with two hands. I having to screw things in. I don't like that anyway. I love a one-handed capo, and this has such incredible ease of movement. The interchangeable fret pads means that it's really easy to find the best tuning for the guitar you have, and so far all the guitars I've tried with it work really well. They hold a brilliant tuning. Having the choice between the rubber or the Teflon is another nice touch. If you are someone who plays a lot of string bends, then you're not going to have that intonation issue that can occur when you're capoing and bending at the same time. They're a very solid feeling bit of kit. I don't worry about this thing breaking anytime soon. They're really solid. They feel very well built. They are beautiful to look at. You've got such an array of different designs you can use. You should be able to find one that will match your guitar. And they go one further in that you can actually have engravings in there, whether it be your name or some sort of Celtic symbol or things like that. There's a big customizable section on their website too. Cons. They're not the cheapest capos on the market, but you know, they're not the most expensive either. So they start at around £50, which is $65-ish. And then they go up from there depending on the material you're using for the capo, the material for your inlay, any customization that you're going to be adding to it. It's a little bit heavier than your standard capo, but not to a point that I've really noticed it. On the slightly smaller guitars you feel in just a little bit more weight to them, but it hasn't really affected the playing or been a pain or anything like that for me. The customization, although it seems to be growing and growing, and they're adding different things constantly and the ways you can customize your capo, but the name is restricted to 9 characters at the moment, and I'd really like to see that extended, but that's just me being a little bit nitpicky. See, other than that, I can't think of anything bad to say about them. I love them. I think they're superb. I'm a huge fan now. They keep adding things, different fret pads, different ways of expanding on what they've done, and I'm very excited to see what they'll be bringing out in the future. Okay then, that was the Thalia Capo. The link is in the description there. Do let me know what you think about these. I know there are so many capos out there and people have so many different views and opinions on those. So hit me up there in the comments. Let me know your favourite capo. Let me know what it is about it that you love so much. If you use the Thalia, let me know how you're getting on with them. Just, you know, let's have a chat. Let's geek out about these things. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And you can follow me on Twitter here, or you can follow me on Instagram here. I've been Simon from Tomorrow Bird, just an average guy giving you an average review. Till next time.